longest, fastest track in Red Bull Global Rallycross history welcomes drivers to the Bushy Park circuit in the Caribbean paradise of Barbados. Block continues to lead the 2015 championship standings, but Scott Speed is banging on the door, coming off back-to-back victories in Los Angeles. Who will claim the victories in this Caribbean doubleheader? It's power and performance in paradise. This
Barbados, a holiday destination for all except for those racing in Red Bull Global Rallycross here this weekend. We are at Bushy Park, an exceptional facility, and Anders Krohn, this is the biggest circuit we've ever had in DRC.
It is indeed 1.1 miles around and very, very high speeds. 135 mile an hour top speed as they come into turn one here, so very exciting.
It's going to be very close indeed. We've got 3 races still to go. 2 here in Barbados and then Las Vegas in a month's time. Ken Block, he leads 11 points ahead of Scott Speed. Patrick Sandell and Sebastian Eriksson, 3rd and 4th, 36 points back. Then PK, Faust, Arpin, Veman and Austin Dine. 9 drivers within a chance of the 2015 Global Rallycross Championship. Now, Ken Block has led this season's title chase so far this year. This is what happened here last year in Barbados. A massive crash in the final, and Ken Block on his roof. His championship last year really didn't get off to a great start, did it? But he's leading this year. The question is, can he keep the title lead between now and the end of the season? Will caught up with Block.
LA is now in the history books, and we focus on Barbados, and it's a long run down into turn one, 135 miles an hour, then around some really fast sweepers, and then the penalty box on the right hand side. Now headed into that gravel pit in turn 8 and over those 2 massive jumps. But discounting all that is the Cobalt Tools Joker Lap, which is on the inside of turn 9 and gains you about 2.5 seconds. So big advantage to be gained there. It's a great track, very hard on tires, but I think we will see a lot of action here this weekend.
Now, we've already had 2 semi-finals before we have come on air, and the men who have qualified from those semis to the final are Austin Dine, Scott Speed, Patrick Sandell, Tanner Faust, Yoni Veman and Brian Deegan. There are still 4 more spaces on the final grid, and as you may notice, the championship leader is not on the final grid at the moment because Ken Block there is about to start this LCQ. He's on the front row together with Sverre Isaksson and Steve Arpin. The second row is made up with Nelson Piquet Jr. and Sebastian Eriksson. There are a lot of people here who've got to do a lot of work, mainly Ken Block from that front row start. I remind you, top 4 across the line at the finish line will then go to the back of the final grid. They're under starters' orders, no creeping, wait for the greens. We're underway! Brilliant start by Ken Block as he leaves the line. Here comes Steve Arpin on the left-hand side in the orange car. Who's going to lead? It's going to be Block. Oh, Steve Arpin gives him a bit of a tap as he comes into the first corner.
Great start also by Nelson Piquet. Was in that draft there of Ken Block and that hydroxy cut car right there. But Steve Arpin of that Ineos car holding off. Look at that. This is allowing Ken Block to open up a gap right now, though.
So then Block leads from Arpin, from then Piquet Jr. The yellow wing on the rear of the car, that is Sebastian Eriksson. He is 4th in the championship at the moment as they come down onto the gravel for the first time in this short, sharp 4-lap LCQ. Block is still leading. Arpin has a bit of a problem. Block, 2 wheels for Ken Block. And Ken Block has rolled it. Ken Block has rolled it. The championship leader here in Global Rallycross is on his roof for the 2nd year on a trot here in Barbados. And Ken Block, he hit that big curb, and there's a red flag, understandably. He hit that curb. He went on 2 wheels. I can see the door trying to open. In fact, it is trying to open. Ken's trying to get out of the car, and the medical and safety crews are dashing to the Hoonigan Ford. My goodness me, that was a massive leap over that curb.
Yeah, you could see the moment when he hit the curb that he was going to roll that car, and then he went all the way up to the top of that jump, landed on the roof yet again. He is a lucky boy there. Look at that. The wheels just dig in. Then he slides on the roof there, and then he flips it at the top of the jump yet again. So
here he is. Now he's gone over that big curb. He's gone on 2 wheels. Just about held it. It was a pretty gentle roll, but then it's this that really tumbled him over, and teetering on the edge of the jump there. And Ken Block, we saw him trying to get out of the car, and in fact we are hearing from race control that he is okay. Ken Block is okay, and the championship leader is not going to score any points in the first of our Barbados rounds here at Bushy Park. Massive drama. Welcome back here to Barbados. Big news here, because this year's Global Rallycross Championship title leader, Ken Block, has had an enormous crash in his Ford Fiesta. But as you can see, the cruiser got him out of the car. He's perfectly okay. This is what happened. Anders, talk us through it.
He just slams the curb in turn 9 and then just starts barrel rolling, eventually coming to a halt. We're going to get an onboard view here. Turning into the right here, slams that curb up on the side, and the GoPro gets slung off the car. But Ken is okay. Here we are yet again with another view. We're going to see him go up on his side, slide on the roof, and then flip once more for a total of 3 flips there.
Just stuck on the edge of the ramp. Ken was immediately trying to open the door, but by the time he got out of the car, Kristen caught up with him.
Talk to Leah real quick. She just wants to give you a hug. Your kids want to give you a hug. First question I have, we saw you roll again. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I mean, I just literally had this conversation with Patrick Sandell that bump was a horrible design, and I hadn't gone straight over it the whole time. I've been trying to drive around it, and this time I kind of just went slightly more over it because I knew everybody else had been going over it. And yeah, just sent me bouncing, and unfortunately the jump was right there. I couldn't correct in time to get over it clean, so sorry. I mean, it pretty much ruins my chances for today and potentially the championship now. Fortunately, it is what it is.
Thanks, Ken.
Oh, Ken Block and the crew, what must they be feeling? But that has really put a cat amongst the pigeons with regards to the championship now, as he goes back to the back of the garage and catches up with Patrick Sandell. So let's have a look at the current points table. Ken Block leads by just 11 points ahead of Scott Speed. Speed, double winner in Los Angeles last time out. Sandell and Ericsson level on points in 3rd and 4th, and then it's 54 points back to PK Jr., Tanner Faust, Steve Arpin, Yoni Veman and Austin Dine. All of those top 9 are within a shout of this year's Red Bull Global Rallycross Championship, and we've got 3 races to go, 2 of which here in Barbados. This is the Royal Purple Grid, and Scott Speed with Austin Dine and Tanner Faust are on the front row. Row 2 with Brian Deegan. Watch him, he's a demon on the first lap, together with Patrick Sandell and the reigning champion in Global Rallycross, Yoni Veman. Row 3 is Nelson PK Jr., winner from DC, and then Steve Arpin, Sebastian Eriksson, he's got work to do here in this final, and then Sverre Isaksson, the lone Subaru, at the rear of the grid.
But just going back, Toby, to Scott Speed, all he has to do in this final is finish 8th or higher, and he will be the new championship leader. This could be a huge weekend for him.
Okay then, we're under starters' orders. Watch the lights. When the red ones go out, there's a pause before the green, and then we are going Barbados. Look at the 2 Volkswagens. They're level pegging as they go down to the first corner. Patrick Sandell together with Austin Dine is right behind them, but it's going to be Tanner Faust who leads, together with his teammate Scott Speed. Nearly on 2 wheels, Scott Speed, as he comes around the right-hander. In 3rd position is Patrick Sandell, and that is Yoni Veman up to 4th position. What a brilliant start by the Flying Finn, but it's the Americans 1-2 at the moment. Can the Swede get through into 2nd place? No chance there.
Did you see Patrick Sandell around turn 2 there in that Cobalt Tools Ford Fiesta right there, around the outside, completely sideways? He's got to be aggressive here. He's got ground to make up in the championship. So he's, oh, look at that little bit of bump and grind there on Scott Speed.
And that's Yoni Veman, who's trying to get through past Sandell. You can't take the Cobalt Tools Joker on the first lap, so everybody has to go over the jump here. Over the 2nd tarmac jump, you have to turn the car before you actually crest the jump, and now they come to this brilliant double apex long right-hander that finishes this 1.12 mile lap here in Barbados, and that's the first lap of 8 completed. Over the line they go.
But look at this, Tanner Faust, 1 lap completed and a 1.4-second lead in that yellow VW Beetle. Now ahead of Scott Speed, so Tanner Faust has got something figured out. He's just got to be careful now to not wear out those tires.
Okay, VW 1-2 at the moment. The charge of the VWs against the might of the Fords is on. Tanner Faust, last win, that was at Daytona in June this year. He's a 2-time champion in Global Rallycross back in 2011 and in 2012. But since then, the championship has gone to Finland twice with Topi Heikkinen and Joni Wiemann last year. Here we go. Who's going to take the Joker? It's going to be Faust who goes through together with his teammate Scott Speed.
Very, very smart move there for Tanner Faust, just to get that clear track position. He doesn't want to be threatened by anyone, so right now he's going to have a solid gap. But what this means is now Patrick Sandell has the pressure. He needs to gain about 1.5 seconds now to stand a chance of taking the lead when he takes the Cobalt Tools Joker lap.
Quick circuit that we've got here at Barbados. Speeds approaching 135 miles an hour as they charge over that slight rise down into this very difficult braking area. That is Austin Dine hugging that curve like his grandmother as he goes into then this turn 3 here, and now on the pit straight past where the crews are based. Brilliant four-wheel drift as he comes into view. And look at the pitch of the car as he stands on the anchors.
And Sebastian Eriksson just giving him a little bit of a love tap right at the apex of that turn 6. Now, is he going to be able to do the high-low here as he climbs on the binders? Maybe a little bit of a bump there, completely sideways for Austin Dine. And there's that spot. Let's see Joker lap for Joni Wiemann in that Red Bull car, as does Sebastian Eriksson. Both Red Bull cars now in the Joker.
Look at Arpin together with Austin Dine jumping in synchronizing fashion as they go over the first jump, and there comes Deegan into the mix. Where did he come from? Brian Deegan, he's getting pushed onto the dirt by Steve Arpin, who then has to defend with Austin Dine, and here's Nelson Piquet Jr. steaming through from the back together with Sverre Isaksen's Subaru. Great racing.
Could this be Sverre Isaksen's chance to capitalize on these Fords bashing it out? Look at that. No love lost between Nelson Piquet Jr. in that hydroxy-cut car and Brian Deegan.
I remind you, this is the battle for 6th position. You would have thought it was for the entire championship. But Nelson Piquet Jr. there, he's got a lot of work to do with the red flashes on the back of the car. He's got a lot of work to do to try and get himself closer to the championship leader, Ken Block, who's obviously not scoring in this race. So really, he's got all the points he can get in this final to try and have a chance of the championship come Las Vegas. Okay then, let's have a look. That is Austin Dine taking the Cobalt Tools Joker lap. He is going to come out just level with Steve Arpin. Oh, well, not like the contact that they had earlier. Brilliant slide through the right-hander.
Yet another piece of contact there through these final couple of corners. And oh, Brian Deegan so sideways. Now, Brian needs to be conserving his tires. 66% of the corners here are right-handers, so he needs to be careful of how he treats those right side tires.
Very slippery through that right-hander. Brian Deegan goes very wide. Piquet Jr. right on his tail. Deegan having a big slide again as he comes through the quick chicane that brings them onto this pit straight, and no sooner are they up the gears than they're down the gearbox again into this tight hairpin. Whoa, through the dust they go. And is there a problem? Is there a problem? Is there a problem for Steve Arpin? Yes, there is. And there's also a problem for Austin Dine. He's limping. Arpin is limp. And what's going on with Austin Dine? He's going nowhere in the black and white car, and Steve Arpin is struggling with 4 laps to go halfway through this race. And Piquet takes the Joker, so Piquet's going to elevate himself up further. In the meantime, let us not forget that the 2 VWs are 1 and 2, and Patrick Sandell is in 3rd position right on their tail. And here they are, 1, 2 and 3, all in the same shot.
Keep in mind, Toby, that Sandell in that Cobalt Tools Ford Fiesta has not taken the Joker lap, and he is right on their tail. So once he takes that Joker lap, he should theoretically take over the lead here.
Wow, so he really has got a card that can trump the 2 Volkswagens in front of him. Patrick Sandell, well, You know, Scott Speed was saying the guy I've got to look out for in this championship is Patrick Sandell rather than Ken Block. And after Ken Block's role and now non-participation in this final and therefore non-score, he's got to keep an eye and see what Sandell will do when he takes that joker.
Did you see just how long Patrick Sandell jumped there? This is one motivated Swede right now as he works his way into those final couple of corners. He's got to be good with his tires here. Final corner coming up here. When will he joker? This is going to be so important for the end result here.
Okay then, over the finish line they come through the murk. We pick up with Patrick Sandell, wipers going, trying to have a clear view, a little bit of understeer, drifts it out of there. Is he missing his rear wing? The rear wing's come off the back of the car as well, hasn't it?
It's certainly
fallen off.
It has indeed, but I don't think he cares, nor do I think it will affect much around this tight track. But Patrick Sandell, boy, has he been impressive this weekend. And right now, just looking at his driving style, he's so smooth with his inputs. 14 global rallycross victories between the top three in this race. Scott Speed, the most successful GRC race winner ever, with 7 victories. Faust with 5. Sandell with 2, and that must be part of the bodywork that maybe fell off the back of Sandell's car the previous lap that's been chewed up as the others land on it after the first of those jumps. Okay then, here comes the white flag. It's being prepared, it's unfurled by the GRC marshal as they come over the finish line. It's all now down to Sandell. And Patrick Sandell is going to leave the best for last. He saved that Cobalt Tools joker lap for the very last lap, and now he's just got to be picture perfect through this little bit of a segment of corners here.
So just to explain, Anders, you're going to gain about 2.5 seconds in the joker lap. He's 2.6 back of the leader.
But I think Patrick has got this. Look at how late on the brakes he is there into turn 6. Now he's got to be clean back on power off that corner. I think he's going to take the lead here.
Okay, well, there's 2 teammates. What can Tanner Faust do to protect Scott Speed in the championship? Can Patrick Sandell, as he takes the Cobalt Tools joker, we look for the 2 Volkswagens on the left-hand side of your screen. Watch for the yellow one. Faust is going to lead. It's going to be nothing between them. Oh, my goodness me! Scott Speed loses a wheel. There's 3 wheels on his wagon. And as they limp to the line, Patrick Sandell gets ahead in 2nd position, and Scott Speed is trying to limp across the line in 3rd position, but he might get there in 3rd, and he does, with 3 wheels on the Volkswagen. I have never seen drama like that, and immediately as he crosses the line, he can't keep any more control. Have you ever seen anything like that in motorsport? Unbelievable. Tanner Faust wins the race. He wins the race. Scott Speed gets out of it saying, what happened there? As Sandell came in and hit him, my goodness me. Barbados is just levitating above the ocean at the moment with the drama that we've seen. And Scott Speed is not happy about that.
That car is destroyed, Toby. That was such a big impact, and he almost rolled the car from as hard as that impact was.
Oh, that was a big hit. The wheel was off immediately. Look at the back of Sandell's car. It's completely stoved in. Here we go.
Now, just to clarify for those watching, all GRC drivers have spotters at the top of that tower that you see there that alert them, and there they are exchanging words now. They will not be happy with each other.
Whoa. Now, Sandell. He will be the first to apologise. Of all the drivers in the paddock, he's a gentle soul, Sandell. And obviously, emotions are high. There's a championship at stake here. There's years and years, decades of man-hours being put into these cars, week on week. And the drama has unfolded here in the first of our final. And we just got news that Patrick Sandell has been disqualified from the results. And some drama here in the first of our Barbados Global Rallycross rounds. Tanner Faust confirmed as the winner. He has now taken his 6th Global Rallycross victory. But the news was just before we went to the break that Patrick Sandell, who crossed the line in 2nd place, has been disqualified after a dramatic accident that he had with Scott Speed with just 2 corners to go. So now Speed is 2nd. Joni Veman gets his 2nd podium of the 2015 season. Now let's have a look and see exactly what happened. There is Patrick Sandell coming in from the left-hand side. The blue and white Volkswagen Beetle is Scott Speed. He had nowhere to go as the black and white Fiesta came barreling in into his side. Here is Sandell.
Sandell on the right-hand side of the screen there, trying to rejoin the track from the Cobalt Toast Joker, then absolutely slams Scott Speed in that VW Beetle there. And it is the responsibility of the driver rejoining the regular track that needs to be cognizant of where he's at, which is why he's given this penalty.
Now this is the view that we had when we were commentating live. Here comes Sandell in the grey Ford Fiesta into the path of the blue Beetle of Scott Speed. In fact, look, he had nowhere to go. If the Beetle wasn't there, the blue car wasn't there, then Sandell will have just driven off the racetrack. They crossed the line on 3 wheels, but then Sandell was disqualified. Once they got to the line, Kristen caught up with the winner. Standing, and it is confirmed that Scott Speed now leads. Ken Block, who didn't score, loses the championship lead for the first time this season. Ericsson stays in 3rd position, he's 35 points back. Tanner Faust leaps to 4th, up from 6th position. PK Jr. didn't have a good race. Sandell got disqualified. Yoni Veman, Steve Arpin. So there are now 8 in the championship chase with 2 rounds still